We need to build a wall, and it has to be built quickly.
Good morning. It is 9:08 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can get the show on all the apps, iHeartRadio, TuneIn. You can get us on the FM dial. You can watch the show as well. Super Talk TV, up and running. YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Hit like, hit subscribe. Got a lot of kids to feed. And those likes, I mean, it's essentially it's protein for the kids. It's the chicken. It's the steak. And if we don't want to just feed the kids bread and water, we need to get those likes up. We thank you for your service.
They got to be strong for baseball.
We had a birthday over the weekend, and Bishop was, I mean, I really do. I put it on this audience. Bishop was crying. He's like, all weekend long. You know, he's turning 7. He's like, why didn't you get me cake? And I said, the likes weren't there, dude. So it's really not on me. We gave him a cookie.
No chocolate chips, though.
He said, you don't even have a candle. I said, how many times do I need to tell you? The audience didn't like and subscribe enough. So he was very upset. And I blame you. I blame each and every one of you. No. We had a great weekend. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. We did. We celebrated my second son's 7th birthday. And it was crazy. You know, we got the new baby on the way. And I'm like, the night before his birthday, I was like, I gave him a big hug. And I was like, this might be the last time I hug a 6-year-old boy. You know, at my house. This is just weird. It's weird. It was a weird feeling. I was like, this might be, you know, if we have a girl, this is it.
Yep. It's a way to phrase that.
It is a way to phrase it. It's what I thought in real time. So this might be the last time. I mean, we got a lot of kids, so we might have grandkids. I would assume so. We are. I mean, with the amount of kids we have, we're cashing out the retirement plans. We're like, well, you know, one of you guys are going to hit. So one of y'all should be able to take care of mom and dad. We hope. We'll keep hedging our bets as long as we can, I guess.
Fingers crossed.
So yeah, Bishop turned 7 over the weekend. It was awesome. We did have cake. Even though you guys didn't show up at the likes, but I showed up. I played dad. I just did my thing. I said we'll break into the savings for this, son.
It's okay. You're just not going to college, but hey, you got your cake.
You got cake. So take your own loans out. But no, we had an awesome time, and he had a big day. He said, "Let's go to the Mexican restaurant." He said, "I need the sombrero, and I need them to sing to me."
You get the ice cream in his face?
No, they didn't do it at that one. They didn't do that one. But he did get a fancy sombrero. So they sang to him. I said, I don't really like that you're singing in English. I feel like it would have been a little bit more authentic if we got Feliz Cumpleaños. But to each their own. The food was good.
Hard to go bad with that.
Then we went to a trampoline park where they said, "Dad, can you jump with us?" And I said, "Of course I can." So for the next hour and a half, I lived in utter fear that I would be tearing an ACL or shattering a kneecap, but I didn't.
Leg slipping through the spring.
Oh my gosh, doesn't it? Is it just me? Anybody else get that? We've done things where like I'll be at the playground and I'll be like, I'm on the swings with a kid and I'm like, I'm about to jump off, and then I think to myself, just like I get like flashbacks of like my entire life. I'm like, no, I don't want to tear an ACL.
Yeah, is this the time where your knee goes?
I'm gonna let this thing slow down and hop off. That's what I'm gonna do. I thought about doing something cool and I immediately regretted before I even did it.
Probably a smart call.
So, people don't think it'd be like it is.
But it do.
It do. Also over the weekend, Lindsey Graham died.
Yeah.
So that was weird.
Yeah.
A lot of memes. I don't want to make fun of the dead. But listen, I hope he got right with Jesus before the end. And he doesn't have any wives. He doesn't have any kids. So I don't know. He's not one of those politicians where I'd be like, why didn't you retire and spend time with your family? Like he didn't really have that. Mm-hmm. But I hope he got right with Jesus. You've probably heard the rumors that anybody else has heard. We're not going to dive into that per se, but I hope he got right. My wife texted me and she's like, why are the flags at half mast? I was like, I don't know. Is it just me or is the flags at half mast a bit of a stretch? Also, there's a bit of a stretch on revisionist history when it comes to one Lindsey Graham. At least for me. I'm watching all this stuff pour in over the weekend, and it's like, oh, Lindsey, he was the best. And I'm sitting here thinking, he wasn't even conservative. Lindsey Graham was a globalist. He was for open borders. He was for forever wars. He was a neocon who hated the America First movement. And the only reason that he latched onto the America First movement was because he realized that he needed to stay in power and keep his Senate seat. Literally all weekend long. I'm on a hunt. So give me something positive. The only thing that you can come up with was the Brett Kavanaugh stuff. That's it. That's all you can come up with. And the rest of it is Lindsey spending his career sacrificing American blood and treasure for foreign adventures while the homeland has been going through what we've been going through here. So I don't know. I'm sad he died, I guess. I'm not going to dance on the man's grave, but I'm also not going to revise all of this and pretend like he was a bastion of hope and what a leader and like stunning and brave. I'm not going to do that here. And I think that the record of Lindsey Graham speaks for itself. From the America First perspective, he was one of the purest examples of the uniparty and the neocon swamp creatures that we could come up with. I'm just being honest. That's just the reality of it. Again, that sucks he died. 71 is too young to go. And, there's been some nice stuff that came out about him. I guess he raised his sister. That's great. First member of his family to go to college. That's cool. He was in law school while his parents died. He took care of his little sister. Like, okay, that's great. That's great. But he also spent decades putting global empire, foreign wars, open borders, and his own political survival ahead of the American worker and ahead of American sovereignty. And I mean, we can go down the list. Let's start with the original, where this started between him and Trump in 2015, 2016. He was viciously anti-Trump. He called Trump a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot. That's Lindsey Graham, folks. He said that Trump was the world's biggest jackass, a demagogue, unfit for office, and a nut job. He said, you know how you make America great again? You tell Donald Trump to go to hell. Okay. He was also part of the Gang of Eight amnesty push. He was one of the architects. He was the co-author of the 2013 Comprehensive Immigration Bill that would have given a pathway to citizenship to 11 million plus illegal aliens. Doesn't it sound like a simpler time when we only had 11 million illegal aliens in the country? Lindsey Graham was there for all of that, folks. cheerleader of the Iraq Forever War, permanent cheerleader of permanent U.S. occupation of Afghanistan, Libya, Syria, every other Middle Eastern conflict that we had seen. He celebrated American tax dollars going to Ukraine. So, and I quote, Russians could die. That's not to say Russia's good, but that's what he wanted to do with your tax dollars. That was Lindsey Graham. He publicly called for the assassinations of foreign heads of states. He was happy to send other people's kids to die while he sat safely in the Senate and had no kids of his own that he had to worry about. And then he backstabbed the president on January 6th before realizing that it was politically viable to come back and defend him again. That was Lindsey Graham. So, I mean, we could eulogize the man and we can put the flags at half staff and we can pretend that he was such a great Republican, but that's not this show. So, again, sorry he died. That sucks. That sucks. Not what I expected. There's a lot of conspiracy theories online that maybe the Russians took him out. Maybe the Ukrainians took him out. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he just ate like crap, and that's the result of living that way. Maybe. I mean, they call that stuff the Widowmaker for a reason, right? Like there's a reason why it's described as the Widowmaker, because it just comes out of nowhere, and then that's it. You're done. Cooked. So, I don't know where he is today. Your guess is as good as mine. I hope he got right with Jesus. I'm not going to go down the rumors, as juicy and vile and as disgusting as they might be. I'm not going to dive into that. I think his record speaks for itself outside of the rumors that he was just a trash conservative. Rest in peace. A lot of people are talking about it. Donald Trump, Trump was doing what Trump does, being very respectful. And he went on the circuit all over the place. He was on with Jake Tapper, and Jake Tapper tried to turn the conversation to Iran, and Trump was like, "Hey, can we get back to what we're talking about here?" And Jake Tapper's like, "Yes. Lindsey Graham hated you. He said very, very mean things about you." And Trump was like, "Yeah, I guess so."
Yeah, he had some harsh words about you 10 years ago when you were running against each other.
Did. Well, he ran against me, and he was, formidable. He was tough. He was tough and smart, and that's why I got to know him on the campaign. I didn't know him before then, and I spoke to him maybe once in my life before then, but I got to know him. He was one of the 17 people that ran against me, and he was, a smart guy, and it was a nasty campaign. He was tough and nasty, but I was nasty too, and it worked out fine, and I got to know him by little drips and drabs, and then we became friendly, and there was no better advocate. He was a fantastic advocate in the Senate, and he could do things that other people, he was able to, if I had a really big problem with a certain Democrat, he could work it out.
Uniparty.
That's something most Republicans can't do.
Yeah, he had some harsh...
Yeah, so, I mean, Trump he's threading the needle there. As we move forward, the attention turns to what happens to his Senate seat. And there are already quite a few people lining up to take their shot. One of them is Nancy Mace, so we'll talk about that on the way. We'll also talk about something that I noticed, and I don't know if you noticed this as well, but as they're going through the eulogizing of Lindsey Graham, it seems like they're trying to harness this energy from Lindsey Graham dying to pass the Save America Act. And if it works, I think that it is politically brilliant. But I've seen a lot of conversation be directed that way as we're moving forward through all this. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about who's really gunning for his seat, and we'll talk about how they might try and harness this energy to get the Save America Act passed. However, I'm not exactly optimistic that it's going to happen. We'll talk about all that and more on the way. A lot to get to, a little bit of time. You're welcome to join the show any way you'd like. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. It's 921. Super Talk, 99.7 WTN. I was so excited about the rain over the weekend. I was so excited about the canceled plans until I realized all the mud that was going to be tracked in and on the carpets. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand from my friends at Zero Res Nashville. 4 kids and 2 dogs all weekend long. They had to go outside in the rain, and then they had to bring the mud back in with them. This stuff used to stress me out. It doesn't anymore. We'll call our friends at Zero Res. We'll get the carpets cleaned up fast. Zero Res is the Maha of carpet cleaners. It fits right in line with the Maha idea of keeping your home healthy. See, what they do is they clean the carpets with their exclusive ZR water. They're not using harsh chemicals. They're not leaving soap residue behind. It's just their special ZR water cleaning system. And it actually cleans the carpets insanely well and helps them stay clean longer. And as a parent or a grandparent, you're going to like knowing that there's no chemicals on there. So the kids, the dogs, the babies, they can roll around and crawl on that carpet and you're good to go. Call my friends at Zero Res today. 2 and 3 room specials going on right now. 615-535-9376. 615-535-9376 or book online, ZeroResNashville.com.
In a bit of breaking news here this morning, apparently another ICE-involved shooting this morning, this time in Maine. We'll have what we have on that. Also, more strikes in Iran. That's all coming up at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Jay Harper in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. A lot of people don't like my Lindsey Graham take. A lot of people do. To the people that say that I'm not a Christian and how could you kick a dead man while he's down? I'm just pointing out that the way that they're remembering this guy isn't exactly who he was. I'm not kicking him while he's down. Rest in peace. It's sad. I said that a couple times. I could go a lot harder, by the way. I hope everybody understands that. I could. But to everybody that's saying, oh, Chris, how could you? Why would you talk about Lindsey Graham that way? I would just say, is this your guy?
The final thing, Joe Biden. I've traveled the world with Joe. I hoped he lost. I prayed he would lose. He won. He's the legitimate president of the United States. I cannot convince people, certain groups, by my words, but I will tell you by my actions that maybe I, above all others in this body, need to say this. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are lawfully elected and will become the president and the vice president of the United States on January the 20th.
That your guy? There's nothing, no shenanigans when it came to the election of 2020. How about his take on J6ers?
Yeah, my question is about January 6th.
It wasn't peaceful. I was there. If it had been up to me, I would have shot some of these people in the head. Let me tell you why. They took over your capital. I don't care what the cause was. They destroyed the place.
As they walked inside the velvet rope, said your guy. I mean, listen, I'm just calling balls and strikes here. I'm just here to call balls and strikes. And I don't think that he was this bastion of conservatism that a lot of people are making him out to be today. So I could call him names. I could go a lot harder. A lot of people in the text line reminded me what Uncle Phil used to call him. Lindsey Grahamnesty. Oh, yikes. I'm not going to do that. I'm just pointing out his record. And it wasn't good. It never was. And when Donald Trump endorsed him the last time, we all thought, why? Why is he doing that? So, I mean, rest in peace to the man. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not going to spend the entire show pretending like he was this patriotic hero of America First values, because the man never was. And if you want to be mad at me, I mean, that's fine. But that's just the reality. On the way, we'll talk about who's vying for his Senate seat, what they're going to do in the interim, and the energy that I think they're going to try and harvest as the Republican Party to get the SAVE Act pushed, the Save America Act, over the finish line due to Lindsey's death. And you saw the pivot happen very quickly while Donald Trump was doing his interviews over the weekend on the Sunday morning shows. It's 9:30 on Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
It is 9:30. I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. A full weather forecast is coming up. A person was killed Monday today in an ICE-involved shooting in Biddeford, Maine. That's according to the state speaker of the House. That's just, of course, days after an immigration officer shot a Mexican immigrant during a traffic stop in Houston. Biddeford police told CNN there was a police incident in the area, and there's no threat to the public at this time. They decline, however, to provide additional details. Again, this story just breaking, and this is an evolving story. We'll keep you up to date as best we can once we know more. A new round of strikes on Iran as the ceasefire just comes unraveled. The renewed hostilities creating uncertainty over the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's claiming that the strait's closed. President Trump says it's open. ABC's Mary Bruce, she's at the White House.
It has now been nearly a month since President Trump signed that short-term peace agreement with Iran. But after days of back-and-forth strikes, the ceasefire is now unraveling. The Iranians this morning say the agreement has, quote, entered a crisis stage. Now, overnight, the U.S. launching a new round of strikes against Iran, the fourth series of attacks in less than a week. Iran then responding with a barrage of strikes aimed at American military assets in the Middle East.
Reactions to the sudden death of Senator Lindsey Graham continue to roll in.
Washington was shocked by the sudden death of Senator Lindsey Graham at 71.
There was no better advocate. He was a fantastic advocate in the Senate, and he could do things that other people. He was able to. If I had a really big problem with a certain Democrat, he could work it out.
President Trump speaking Sunday to CNN's State of the Union. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster will appoint a replacement for the rest of Graham's term. Republicans will have to choose a new candidate for November's election.
That is Jay O'Brien reporting. Back here in Nashville, a woman faces multiple charges after she was accused of abusing a puppy at a Nashville dog park and assaulting police who came there to arrest her. According to arrest documents, police responded yesterday to reports of a woman at a dog park who was transporting an animal in a cruel manner. Nikera Collier, 25, told police she was just walking her dog, but witnesses said that she was dragging the puppy by its leash and causing its paws to scrape across the sidewalk and bleed. She was also accused of other abusive things to the animal. Documents said as law enforcement attempted to arrest her, she kicked him several times and threatened to shoot him. The dog was turned over to animal control. Collier was booked into Metro Jail yesterday on charges of felony assault of a law enforcement officer, felony retaliation, misdemeanor animal cruelty, misdemeanor resisting arrest, misdemeanor disorderly conduct, and other charges. Her bond, $33,500. That's the latest news. We've got weather coming up. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at the Wellness Institute of Nashville, giving you my full seal of approval on a new piece of tech that they have inside the office. No one can touch Dr. Mitchell when it comes to healing and cutting-edge technology. And their brand new device, Medical Bay 1, this thing is wild. It's like a futuristic healing machine that you're going to sit down and sit in like it's an Artemis spaceship designed by Dr. Mitch himself. You're going to get a full-body massage while a red light, near-infrared, and photon wavelengths light up your cells exactly how God designed them to respond. It is going to stimulate your stem cells for real tissue regeneration at the cellular level. It's epic healing, and you can only get it at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. While you're there, don't forget, they also have non-surgical spinal decompression, and what they won't push on you, surgery, painful injections, opioids. Right now, they're running the Epic Spinal Special, $33 off each visit. You can launch your pain-free voyage by making a call or clicking a button. Painisbad.com or 615-246-5009. Painisbad.com or 615-246-5009. Go see them. Thank me later. Painisbad.com. 38 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen on all the apps. You can watch us on Super Talk TV. That's YouTube and Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends. However you want to listen, we got you. We got you covered. And if you need to listen later, podcasts are always available on Apple and Spotify. Mason Fleming's producing. Jay Harper's in the newsroom. Phone lines, again, open for you guys. 615-737-9986. So Lindsey Graham, no longer with us. His Senate seat is officially vacant. And it looks like what Henry McMaster, the governor of South Carolina, will be able to appoint someone for that seat. And then what happens next is there's going to be some sort of a primary, because Graham had already won his primary. So there's a couple people lining up that want that seat. Here's the latest from Fox News.
And what happens in South Carolina. So the seat will be declared vacant by Henry McMaster, the governor of South Carolina. And what they will start to do immediately then, and what I've been told, is that, you can appoint to the Senate. So they would probably appoint somebody, and the question is whether or not they appoint a caretaker senator. And in other words, somebody who's just there, who's not going to run for the seat and is going to serve out the balance of Senator Graham's term, which would end on January 3rd. He had already secured the Republican nomination for another term, a fifth term this fall. And so they would have to have some sort of a snap or lightning primary, I'm told, sometime in the next 5 to 6 weeks. And then that person would be the Republican nominee and would face Democrat Annie Andrews, who's already been nominated in the fall. It's a Republican state. It probably stays in Republican hands. Now, the question is about the who. After that, somebody I would look at who was on our air last hour is Russell Fry, a Republican from South Carolina. You also have two members of the South Carolina delegation. It's not a very big delegation, who ran for other things, ran for governor, Nancy Mace and Ralph Norman. They lost those primary fights, and they're going to be out of the House here pretty soon. And I'm sure that there will be consultation between President Trump and Governor McMaster as to who they both want and how they want to do this and who their preferred candidate is. Do they prefer perhaps maybe to appoint somebody who then could run for the primary and then serve out the term? Sometimes there's advantages there. But if they were to appoint somebody from the House, and again,
so this is kind of where we're at right now. They're going to appoint somebody. Henry McMaster, the governor of South Carolina, will be able to appoint someone, interim replacement. And then they'll serve through the remainder of Graham's term, so that'll be till January 3rd. But since Graham was up for re-election and he already won his primary, there's going to be a special election that's going to need to be held to replace him as the GOP nominee. And then the winner of that, as they said, is going to face the Democrat Annie Andrews, which the Democrat is probably going to lose there. South Carolina is very similar to here in Tennessee, where that Republican primary feels a lot like the general election. What we're hearing is that it's Nancy Mace is going to be making a strong push for it. This is from Axios. Rep. Nancy Mace strongly considering a run for U.S. Senate following the sudden death of Lindsey Graham. Two sources familiar with her thinking told Axios. One of the sources familiar with Mace's thinking characterized her mindset as YOLO. You only live once. Mace's team plans to get a poll in the field going on Monday, gauging her viability. The second source said Mace previously ran for South Carolina governor, but finished fifth in the primary against Attorney General Alan Wilson, who won, State Attorney General Alan Wilson won the nomination. Mace has run for this seat once before. She ran in the 2014 primary in hopes of unseating Graham, finishing fifth behind the incumbent and three other primary challengers. And then she was elected to the state legislature in 2018 before ascending to Congress in 2020. They say her tenure in the House has been as a Trump-critical Republican, but later as an outspoken Trump supporter and social conservative. It's like wolves and vultures and hyenas. They're all circling right now. Nancy Mace popped on the weekend shows, and she was asked directly about running for that seat. And she's like, we're not making any determinations yet. Right now, we're still mourning his loss. And it's kind of like, yeah, you already know that you're running for this. And she 100% is going to be running for this seat. There's little to no doubt in my mind.
I know that right now we're all just stunned that this has happened. Nobody was ready for it. And there are a lot of folks mourning across the state of South Carolina and across the country tonight.
Longer term, he was on the ballot this fall. You ran for governor. Are you considering running for his seat eventually?
I would say right now, my focus is on South Carolina. I think we're all still just sitting here stunned and shocked that this has happened, and we're mourning his loss. I'm never going to shut the door. I love the state of South Carolina. You only live once, and
YOLO.
If the people of South Carolina would like me to serve in that capacity, I'll certainly take a look at it. But right now, I just want to focus on him and his legacy, what he did for the state. He was sort of like, I always envisioned him that he would live to 100, that he would be serving South Carolina like Strom Thurmond for decades and bring home all the resources we would ever need, and then some, which is what he did in his career. And that's what we're focusing on right now, is his life, his legacy, his legend, as Trump so well aptly described this morning on all of his TV interviews.
The legend of Lindsey Graham. I mean, you can just tell by the way she's gushing over him that she's making a move.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Chris, I tell you, as somebody who lived and worked and covered South Carolina politics for about 15 years, I got to, I won't say I got to know, but I dealt with Senator Graham a lot. He was very open and affable, really a nice guy, funny, and was always open and available to the press, as opposed to some others, Nikki Haley, but also working and getting to know Nancy Mace. I mean, I did sports for the Citadel, the military college of South Carolina. Nancy Mace, the first female graduate of the Citadel. So, I had some dealings with her as well. But I want to throw a name out there that a lot of folks probably have forgotten, but I would not be shocked if Mark Sanford came rising from the grave to express some sort of interest in this particular position, whether he would be appointed or just flat out run for the position. Former governor of South Carolina and congressman who had a scandal a number of years ago where he claimed he was on the Appalachian Trail hiking. Turns out he was in South America with his mistress when all that went down. But anyway, Mark Sanford, whom I did deal with quite a bit, he loves politics. I would not be shocked if he rose from the ashes to at least kind of put the feelers out.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody's circling the wagon right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, is Nancy Mace popular in South Carolina?
I think she was until she ran for governor. She did a lot of stupid stuff in that primary against Alan Wilson, the, state attorney general, who's a good guy. His father is Joe Wilson, who's been in Congress forever, out of the Columbia, South Carolina area. But, she got, I don't know if you remember, she got into a row with the Charleston Airport police because they didn't greet her and give her an escort into her flight, and she flew off the handle and wanted everybody fired. Just made an ass out of herself, in my opinion. And that really, I think, really helped sink her campaign. She just came across as petty and entitled and such. But yeah, she's from the 1st Congressional District down there in South Carolina. She was my congressperson when I lived there in the Charleston area. And that, ironically, was Mark Sanford's congressional district as well. He held that seat a number of years ago. But, she certainly has her fans, but I don't know, man. She's kind of stepped in it and stuck her foot in it a number of times.
From the outside looking in, not having ever lived in South Carolina, she seems to be polarizing.
Yeah, she can be, certainly. She just, I don't know, man. When she first came on the scene in the political landscape, she was a lot more thoughtful, tactful, but she has, I don't know, I guess many folks could see her as, speaking her mind and to the point and yada, yada. But she does seem to, as you say, be polarizing and at times just, make mountains out of molehills on irrelevant issues. Of course, we got a president that does that at times. So, maybe that's not a bad way to go.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's Jay Harper giving his insight on South Carolina politics. President Trump, about 5 minutes ago on True Social, says, and I quote, "I recommend to Governor Henry McMaster, Lindsey Graham's wonderful sister, Darlene, to serve as interim senator from the great state of South Carolina. This would be a fabulous tribute to Lindsey, who loved her dearly." I don't know. Is she well versed in politics? I don't know much about his sister. The most I've heard about his sister was doing research last night, where they said, after his parents died, he kind of stepped in and took care of her in the meantime. Has she been involved in South Carolina politics, Jay Harper?
Not to my knowledge, no. I think you would just try to be perhaps riding on some sympathy, maybe to go that route, but. The upstate certainly got some worthwhile folks. I mean, there are Trey Gowdy fans. He's from the upstate of South Carolina. I know. Ralph Norman, who had a failed attempt in the Republican primary for governor. I mean, there are some other options. But, the upstate of South Carolina and the Low Country are, like two different planets. It's kind of like, Memphis and Greenville, Tennessee. I mean, just opposite ends of things.
Yep.
So there's jealousy over the Low Country, Charleston, because they get all the pub and they get a lot of the accolades because it's such a wonderful city and such. But the upstate of South Carolina is really bustling, especially with industry and business and whatnot. In the Greenville, Spartanburg area.
It's interesting. One of the things that you said is maybe they're working in on sympathy, and I've noticed this myself. And I've one of the pivots that I saw over the weekend was that yesterday really was that they're going to try and channel this to pass the Save America Act, and it looks like they're also going to try and channel this to pass the Clarity Act. President Trump also on True Social saying, in honor of Senator Lindsey Graham, a big supporter, the U.S. Senate should pass the Clarity Act. China and many other countries would like to take complete and total control of this major financial happening, as well as AI, where we are now leading, but where they are fighting hard. Don't let China win on either subject. President Donald J. Trump. And over the weekend during his interviews on CNN and Fox News, he also said that one of the last things that Senator Lindsey Graham was working on was the Save America Act.
I wanted to see the war with Ukraine end very quickly. I think he was more into keeping it going. Frankly, he was very, very militant having to do with that. But I was from the standpoint of 25,000 people dying every month. I didn't like that, and he was a very strong military person. So am I. But I think we used it a little bit differently. We probably had a little bit of a different attitude, but we got along on it. Essentially, we agreed. And essentially, we agreed on almost everything. Where he was really becoming strong was the Save America Act. He was really, and I think he was going to be there very, very strongly on the filibuster. He was against terminating the filibuster. And I think he was doing that because he said we have a budget coming up and we have debt ceiling coming up, and the Democrats will, they're deranged in many ways, and they're not going to be able to do it. So he was coming aboard, I think, for the filibuster, terminating the filibuster. But before we did that, he was a strong advocate for Save America, and that's what he called me about last time. I mean, I think of it. I spoke to him he had already landed. He was probably at his place. I don't know where he was, but I spoke to him, and then I got a call a few hours later saying, late in the evening, at 2:00 in the morning, actually. But they found out about it, I think, about 8:00. About his problem.
So that's been the pivot as of yesterday, that Lindsey Graham, he was working very, very hard on the Save America Act. Fox News actually had John Thune on just a little while ago, and they asked him directly, was Lindsey Graham working hard to get the Save America Act passed? And now that he's gone, what happens to it? We'll bring you Senate Majority Leader Thune's answer when we return. It's 9:53. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at the Glock Store. If there's one thing that the Glock Store knows how to do, it is throw an awesome event. Now, they got two of them coming up on Friday, August 7th and Saturday, August 8th. I'm going to tell you about both of them. Let's start with Friday. It's an exclusive VIP event, limited availability, O-Site and the Glock Store. You check in from 9 to 11:30. The event starts at noon. There's going to be meet and greet and pro photo shoots with featured guests Short Shot Tony and Justine Williams. You're going to get first look at pre-release O-Site optics. You're going to get hands-on range time with great guns and O-Site optics. Expert instructions in CCW tips and tactics, expert instruction in red dot install and bore sighting techniques, plus a catered lunch, a VIP gift bag worth over $2,000, including a new O-Site optics. Now, you can get tickets for the Friday event, which is VIP, at glockstore.com/VIP, or you can head to the event on Saturday, which is open to everyone. O-Site Day at the Glock Store, Saturday, August 8th, 9 to 6. Get hands-on range time with new O-Site optics, in-store discounts on O-Site optics, great O-Site raffle giveaways, free O-Site swag, and food trucks on site and ready to serve. So whichever day you choose, you're going to have a good time. Minutes from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere, always open online, glockstore.com.
Hey, it's Dan Mandis from Super Talk 99.7 WTN and Nashville's Morning News. I'm here with Chris from USS, United Structural Systems. He's checking out my basement, my foundation, my crawl space to see if there's anything wrong. Fingers crossed. All right, so there's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is we found some cracks in my basement wall. The good news, I've got Chris here who's going to walk me through the next steps.
Yes, so unfortunately, your house has been subject to the pressure of the dirt. The hydrostatic pressure, heavy dirt pushes on foundation walls, and you've got a little bit of what we call bowing. So that wall is pushed in a little bit. We have a lifetime warranty solution for that. So we install, usually in a day or two, this can be done in most situations. We install carbon fiber straps, which keep the wall from moving inward at any point in the future. It's a lifetime warranty for anybody that ever owns this house. So it's a quick and routine thing that we do, but it yields some long-lasting benefits.
It's a great selling point if you want to sell your house.
Absolutely. Good thing about our warranties is they're not only transferable, like the contract says, they're automatically transferred when you sell your house. So you don't have to sign any paperwork or even send us an email saying that you sold your house. Warranty would transfer to the next owner.
Coming up at the top of the hour, another ICE-involved shooting. Also, the Iran ceasefire, it just continues to fall apart, and a popular Hollywood actor has passed away. We'll have those stories at 10 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
He was so intense. I mean, he literally called me about the Save America Act. That's why he's, that's where I heard it. Think of it. He's traveling for many, many hours. That's a long flight. That's a long trip. And he, calls me about the Save America Act. He thought we were going to get it passed.
Do you remember
This is a big blow to the Save America Act, let me tell you.
That was the president on Meet the Press with Kristen Welker. I love that he just kind of blew past her. It's like she went to get another. No. Hold on. This is a big blow to the Save America Act. It seems to me like they're going to harness some of this energy for the Save America Act, which I'm fine with. I mean, listen, what was it Rahm Emanuel? Never let a political tragedy go to waste. Never let a tragedy go to waste. Seems like they're not going to do that. Fox News had John Thune on, and they asked him directly about the Save America Act.
A result of his death, one of the things he talked about was he was the chairman of the Senate Budget Committee, and he was the one who handled two of those reconciliation bills, the One Big Beautiful Bill, and then recently $70 billion in funding for ICE and CBP after Democrats shut down DHS. He was working on a third reconciliation bill that potentially maybe gets some elements of the Save America Act in it, but the senator is gone now. What happens to that potential third bill, Senator?
Well, eventually we'll figure that out. We've got to move forward. Obviously right now we are all in the process of still processing and mourning Lindsey's loss, but certainly on that level, the Budget Committee chairmanship, he did it with great professionalism and ability to reach out and to work with everybody on our side of the aisle, many of whom have different opinions about how to deal with these big issues. But those were remarkable, consequential.
Dip, duck, dive, and dodge. That's what he did with that question. He wouldn't answer it directly. A lot of senators don't think that this is going to get done. Senator Mike Lee on the Save America Act said that they should pass it immediately in honor of Lindsey Graham because they said that was his final push for legislation. But when you look at it, there's only 8 legislative days left for the Save America Act to pass in the House before the midterms. And Mike Lee is not exactly happy about the feet dragging. Will the feet dragging continue? Probably. But I'll bring you those comments from Mike Lee on the way. It's 10:01. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
One minute past 10 a.m. I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. Stand by. We'll get you a weather forecast. It's got a little bit more rain in it, so stand by. A person was killed today in another ICE-involved shooting, this time in Maine, Biddeford, Maine. That's according to the state speaker of the House. Of course, this just happening a few days after the incident in Houston. Biddeford police told CNN there was a police incident in the area. They said there's no threat to the general public, but they declined to give any additional details. Again, this is just an evolving story. We'll pass along details as they are received. More U.S. attacks on Iran as Tehran claims it damaged a U.S. base in the region. We hear now from ABC's Karen Hua.
U.S. officials say the new wave of strikes overnight hit dozens of targets to weaken Iran's ability to attack ships in the Strait of Hormuz. The attacks targeted air defense systems, coastal radar sites, and small boats. This was a response to more Iranian attacks on ships yesterday. So the tit for tat continues.
A lot of folks been wondering, where is Mitch McConnell? Well, since Lindsey Graham suddenly passed away, We now hear from the senator from Kentucky.
For 4 weeks, Mitch McConnell's office did not disclose his health condition or why he was hospitalized. But then yesterday, they released a photo of McConnell and his wife, Elaine Chao, and a statement from McConnell explaining that he had a fall, he was briefly unconscious, and then he was treated for a mild case of pneumonia. He was then moved, McConnell says, from the hospital to a rehab facility. He says he didn't have a stroke or a heart attack or anything more serious than that.
We have also learned that actor Sam Neill has passed away. Best known for his role in a number of those Jurassic Park movies, he also starred with Sean Connery in The Hunt for Red October, as well as a whole number of other roles. Here's ABC's Sophie Flay.
To millions, he was Dr. Alan Grant.
It's a dinosaur.
The reluctant hero of Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park. Sam Neill, the actor who brought quiet gravity to some of the biggest films of his generation, has died. Born in Northern Ireland and raised in New Zealand, Neill's career spanned more than 50 years. In 2023, he revealed he'd been treated for blood cancer. Earlier this year, Neill revealed that he was cancer-free after a groundbreaking treatment. Sam Neill was 78.
That is the latest news. Weather is coming up. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
Hey, this is Pastor Allen. Join us on Super Talk 99.7, Sunday evenings from 7 to 8. We're going to look at the news from a biblical perspective.
Yesterday in your Truth Social, you called the Iranians crazy bastards.
True.
What is your response to critics who say that...
I don't care about critics.
What is your response to critics who say that it is your mental health that should perhaps be examined as this war continues?
I haven't heard that. But if that's the case, you're going to have more people like me, because our country was being ripped off on trade, on everything, for many years until I came along. So if that's the case, you're going to have more people.
It's 10:07 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Apparently, my take on Lindsey Graham was too hardcore for some in the audience. Way too hardcore. I'm being told I'm not a Christian. How dare you say that? I hope everybody knows I absolutely held back. So, just being perfectly honest with you. I spoke about his record. Wasn't impressed. I don't understand why we're making the man out to be some sort of hero. I don't see it. Rest in peace. But I'm getting texts like this, 9538. Chris, you're freaking trash and vile, dude. Out of everyone, I knew you'd be the a-hole to talk bleep about the man. Wait, it gets better. It gets better. Yet you're going to be a 70-year-old with a 30-year-old kid, you freaking grandpa. Going to be called granddad by your kids' teachers because you're old making kids. Oh, devastating blow. How will I ever recover? Oh,
Chris,
no.
you've been taken out.
Oh! I invited that individual to call in. I've invited this individual to call in a bunch. 9538.
Yeah.
It's like, we can scroll up and see all your other text messages.
Yep.
Like, it's just, I'm evil no matter what I say. Oh my gosh. You're going to have a 30-year-old kid. That's an adult, bruh. Actually, it's an adult. I'm going to have several of them, and I'm here for it. Oh my gosh. God blessed me with more children. How will I ever recover?
It's the end of the world for Chris Hand.
Oh my goodness. Also math. Do the math. I'm 37 now. I'll be 38 when we have that new child. Blessing. So I would be 68 when they're 30. So not 70. Still young enough to serve in the Senate. So
it's actually your prime for the Senate.
That's like I'm entering good legislative years, actually. I don't know. What do you want me to do? Like that sounds awesome, actually. It sounds great. You mean I'm going to have the joy of children well into my 50s? Oh, heavens. It's a devastating blow. Devastating. I just think it's weird. I just think it's weird. Nobody was singing this guy's praises. Yet today we have to sing their praises. So I got one text from Tim. He said, it's the John McCain effect. After death, all of their offenses are forgotten. I guess. I don't know. Like, you're not supposed to speak ill of the dead. And to be fair, there's a lot I could have said that I didn't. I didn't dive into the rumor bag. Trust me, if you've seen some of the memes on the internet, I absolutely took a PG route. So there's that. So I'm here for it. But yeah, you're gonna be 70 with a 30-year-old. Yeah, that's kind of like the point, actually. It's like you mean I'll have kids to take care of me and love on me that are having their own kids, and I get to run around with grandbabies. Awesome, sick. That's actually what we signed up for. Thank you. We were talking about the Save America Act. Listen, you want to get on to anybody? I don't know. Maybe I missed it. I didn't see Lindsey Graham being such a vocal supporter for the Save America Act. Maybe he was behind the scenes. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. But we've absolutely seen a pivot since then, where the president is giving all these interviews, and he's like, yeah, it's like the last thing we talked about, Save America Act. And you know what? If it gets it across the finish line, more power to the conservatives and the Republicans, because we do need to get the Save America Act across the finish line. But this is the president over the weekend on Meet the Press.
He was so intent. I mean, he literally called me about the Save America Act. That's why that's where I heard it. Think of it. He's traveling for many, many hours. That's a long flight. That's a long trip. And he, calls me about the Save America Act. He thought we were going to get it passed.
Do you remember
This is a big blow to the Save America Act, let me tell you.
Do you remember, Mr. President, what was the last thing?
He was unique in every way, actually.
He was, Mr. President, and I know that we are all just absorbing this news. We are all in shock.
I mean, does anybody really imagine that Kristen Welker is upset? We're all just absorbing this news, Mr. President. We're all just in shock. Like, no, I don't buy that for a second. Like, this is like the fake stuff. Like, she doesn't care. She doesn't care at all. We're all just in shock, Mr. President. Are you really in shock? Like, it's surprising, but you're in shock. Kristen Welker at Meet the Press, she's shocked. Just, how did she even make it into work?
And you tell us, Mr. President, how you received this news and your immediate gut reaction when you heard it.
So what makes it even stranger is that I got a call last night sometime at, the early evening, maybe in the 7s, and he called and he said, we're all set for the Save America Act. He was pushing the Save America Act like crazy. He got back, said he just landed from Ukraine. I said, that's a long trip to make. And he said, he sounded a little tired, but perfect, but a little bit tired. Had a right to be. And he was a worker. No, he was really a worker, but he sounded great, actually. But he actually said he was tired.
So he said he sounded great. He got off the flight from Ukraine, and he was doing well. And he was just talking about the Save America Act. The Ukraine stuff is the reason why everybody is pushing the tinfoil conspiracy theories that it was somebody killed him, whether it was the Ukrainians or it was the Russians. I've heard Israel. Of course, you can't have anybody dying without it being Israel. So obviously, that's probably what happened. It was probably the Israelis. But this was Lindsey Graham just 3 days ago in Kyiv.
I'm pleased to announce, as of about 30 minutes ago, we've reached agreement with the White House on a version of the Russian sanctions bill that they will support. It means it's going to become law. So when I get back to Washington, I'm going to go with Senator Blumenthal to the Republican and Democratic leader to see if we can find time to move this Russian sanctions package that would give tools to President Trump to help end this war.
So he wanted to end the war. He said that the Russian sanctions package would help end the war. And then he winds up dead a couple days later. And obviously that gets everybody going crazy. So the Ukrainians must have killed him because he wanted to end the war and shut off the gravy train. Or the Russians wanted to kill him because it was going to be sanctions on Russia. Or Israel killed him because it was Israel. So I don't know. I do know, and this will never calm down any conspiracy theorist ever, me included, when I catch a wild hair for a conspiracy theory. But the FBI is involved, and they said that there's no indications of foul play in the death of Lindsey Graham.
So President Trump here at the White House earlier today had ordered that all flags across the country be lowered to half staff in support of the life of the late Senator Lindsey Graham. Now, we also know that it was early this morning that the senator's team, their official office, releasing that he had died of what they are calling a brief and sudden illness. The FBI are at Senator Graham's residence, although there is no indication of foul play according to the federal law enforcement.
No indications of foul play according to federal law enforcement. Again, I mean, take it for what you will. Maybe there was. I don't know. I'm not shutting that conversation down. I think it's one of the more interesting theories on the internet. I don't necessarily see it. I think the more interesting thing right now is the pivot to how he said just a couple days ago that the first thing he was going to do when he got back was the Russian sanctions stuff. And now the president and the conservatives say that the first thing he was going to do when he got back was the Save America Act, and that's what his big push was. Senator Mike Lee, yesterday he was on with Maria Bartiromo, and he says the GOP should immediately pass the Save America Act in honor of Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham spent a lot of time with. Like me, he had a lot of enthusiasm for this bill, which I introduced in the Senate about 2.5 years ago. I believe, Maria, that there are multiple paths ahead by which we could pass this. Maybe that involves attaching it to another must-pass vehicle. Maybe it involves bringing it up on the floor and debating it until it passes, something that I've long advocated. Maybe it involves picking out pieces of it that could be implemented through creative uses of budget reconciliation. I'm not terribly partial to any of these three. I personally prefer the second. I think that would give us our best chance. But I will take any opportunity to debate this, any opportunity to cause it to become law, because the American people deserve it. The American people want it. Voters overwhelmingly support it to the tune of about 80%. That's Democrats and Republicans alike. One of the best ways we could honor Lindsey Graham's legacy would be to take this up and pass it this month.
That's how we honor Lindsey Graham. Listen, if that's what comes of it, I'm here for it. But Senator Mike Lee laid out the realities during this interview with Maria Bartiromo as well. And he says, you're going to have to work through the weekends to get it done. As of right now, there are 8 legislative days left for the Save America Act in the House, 20 legislative days left in the Senate before the next recess. And I mean, if they don't get it done soon, then you're going to lose your window of opportunity, and who knows what happens in the midterms.
Examine what it is that voters want right now. Overwhelmingly, not only do they support this bill, but they understand that it ought to take preeminence. It ought to take precedence over other legislation we should be supporting right now. So I think that's where the disagreement lies, is in the vision that we can pass this, even though we don't yet have 60 votes. We do have a simple majority. And on the technique, the method by which we bring it about. But it does take effort and some creative thinking. We can get it done.
Well, you've got, what, 8 legislative days or 20 legislative days in the Senate and eight legislative days in the House before the next recess. I know Mike Johnson is talking about a third reconciliation bill, but again, John Thune says, stop talking about a third reconciliation bill to colleagues when he's talking with them privately.
Yeah, look, first of all, we have control over how many legislative days we have left. It need not be that short a period of time. We could choose to work through weekends, through scheduled recesses, and frankly, we should. Especially when something like this comes up, where we see a massive vulnerability in our election security. That affects not only potentially the outcome of elections, but also the way in which they're perceived. When we see something like that, and we have a ready, popular, widely accepted, widely supported solution, we need to re-examine our own practices, even our own schedules, in order to get it done.
That's Senator Mike Lee out of Utah, based Mike Lee. I like him a lot. I just don't necessarily see this happening. I don't. We can change the schedule, he says. Will you, though? Will you? Seems like everybody's vacation plans are probably already set in stone here before they get really into campaign season. Jim Jordan, though, says these guys got to get tough.
That basically say they're not voting for it either way, even if you change the filibuster. And the reason why I bring that up is if the Senate can't do it with what the bill that's there, it does come back to the House to pass something that you can get the Senate to pass. And it just seems like you're saying, well, we'll get what we can into reconciliation, and it's not as big of a deal as some of the other things we've done to the voters. And I understand that, but it is a big deal to the president and to a lot that vote for any election, much less a presidential election.
Well, I do think if it's a straight up or down vote on photo ID, you could get enough Republican senators to vote for it. You just can't get to that question because of the filibuster. So your point, Joey, is there are a handful, it looks like, Republican senators who will not vote to ever get rid of the filibuster. I think we know what's going to happen. If Democrats ever get control, they're going to do it. So it seems like if that's going to happen, or if that might happen, we should probably stop it now and put in place these safeguards to make sure our elections are fair, our elections are honest, our elections are the way they're supposed to be. But short of that, I don't know how we're going to get it done. We can try to put some incentives on the reconciliation package that will push states and encourage states to do it. But other than that, I'm not sure how we can get there.
I mean, pessimism is the word that comes to mind when it comes to the Save America Act. What say you? 615-737-9986. We'll take some of your phone calls on the way. We got Carl in the borough. We got Tom in Woodbury. And we got our seminar caller. Apparently he's in Mount Juliet today. Our seminar caller's in Mount Juliet. We'll take some phone calls on the way. I don't know if I'm going to take the seminar caller. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. 1022, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at United Structural Systems. We got a lot of rain over the weekend. Are you getting any water inside your basement or inside your crawl space? If you are, these are the pros that you can trust and the pros that you need to call. You could wait, but waiting usually means bigger problems and more expensive. And when you let the water issue continue to get worse, you end up having foundation issues. And then you might start noticing cracks in your walls and uneven floors. And then it's not just a home issue, it's a peace of mind issue. So I'm going to recommend United Structural Systems. These guys have been doing the work the right way since 1994, right here in Tennessee. No scare tactics, no quick fixes, just real inspections, honest answers, and solutions that are built to last. Whether it's foundation repair, waterproofing, crawl space issues, or concrete leveling for your driveway or patio, USS is going to use engineered systems designed for long-term performance, not temporary patches. Right now, you can get a 10% discount when you pay in full, or you can fix it now and pay it later with 18 months, no payment, no interest. Talk to my guys at USS today, 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855, or find them online, USSTN.com.
So, with all that's going on in Iran, where does the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz stand in all this? We'll have a report. The health issues of Mitch McConnell and the death of Lindsey Graham spurring talks on the age of Congress members. You might be surprised to hear this report. We'll get you that story and more at 10:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Jay Harper in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. It is 10:26 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Yeah, I gave you the time, even though you have a phone and a clock in your car. We just do it. We do it for fun. I'm trying to save you all of the energy that would be pulling something out of your pocket or shifting your eyes ever so slightly to the right while you're driving. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Or to the left if you're in the passenger seat. You just never know.
You know, listen, we're here for you. And we're everywhere. All the apps, the FM dial. We're on YouTube and Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe. 615-737-9986. Let's go to our friend Carl in the borough. What's up, Carl? How are you?
Well, thank you for taking my call. I jumped in my truck and I heard the tail end of the text you got from Less Than Zero. Yeah. And he was talking about being 70 and having a 30-year-old. And
yeah,
I just wanted to comment. I feel sorry for that guy and the millions of others that do not respect people that are older than them. And the mere fact that now here it is, this is the manly side of me. When he gets to be, I'm 64, when he gets to be my age, and I don't have any problem with people with bald hair, no hair, but he's not going to look as good as me. He's not going to be as smart as me, and he's not going to have a beautiful wife that's still alive.
Amen.
Or is this guy? I just feel sorry, and I want to pray for that guy because I know you're a great father. I've met you once, and you got a beautiful family. And I was 36 or 7, I think 37 when we had our last kid.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean, I feel like America has been brainwashed by this propaganda of a child-free life and how it's so much better, and you're going to have so much more money, and you're going to have so much more free time, and you're going to be able to do what you want to do. And I'll tell you what, it is going to leave you empty and searching for joy in your later years, where I'm going to have little fingerprints on my windows from the grandkids, and I'm looking forward to all of that.
Exactly.
You know? Like, I'll take that
God
all
bless
day.
you, man.
Yeah, thank you. My mother-in-law, I appreciate the call, Carl. My mother-in-law will go to her house, and she still has this handprint on the glass door from like 3 years ago. She can't bring herself to wash it off because it was from one of my kids who had like just grimy little fingers because they're little. And it was like they put the fingerprints on the glass door, and she's like, I can't get rid of it. Like I love the little fingerprints. And like all of that's going to be gone one day, and like enjoy it. Enjoy the mess and enjoy the stress. Like that's literally what it's all about. In it, and to be fair, I think that guy was just trying to be hurtful, and like that doesn't bother me at all. I did have liberals who often call in and disagree with me on political issues that were like, dude, I'm with you. Jeremiah, who he's called in a few times. We like Jeremiah. I don't want to be an echo chamber here, and like I can like somebody just because we differ politically. And Jeremiah texted in. And he said, well, Chris, I had my first kid at 21, next at 37. I'm 46 now. It gets harder. And I said, but it's so worth it, brother. And he said, yes, it is. Amen. Tom in Woodbury, real quick, what do you got?
Hey, Chris, good morning. It's Tom Davis, your candidate in the Republican primary for the U.S. House of Representatives. And I took a little bit of exception to that Congressman Desjardins ad talking about supporting veterans. And we have the case here with our clinic being closed in McMinnville, and his plan has been just hopefully the government, now that they've taken it over, will keep it open, which to me is a horrible plan. And he didn't know about it to begin with, that it was closing, and decided to go to North Dakota to talk about missiles versus coming to a town hall to stand with the veterans. So I just wanted to call in and let everyone know there's some options out there, myself being one. And, he said real quick, so they can find me, TomDavisTN4 at gmail.com is an email. TomDavisTN4.com is the website. And Facebook, Tom Davis for Congress is the best way to handle or to get a hold of the campaign.
Hey, appreciate you, Tom. Thanks for being out there and doing what you do. It's 10:31. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
It is 10:31. I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. We'll get you that weather forecast here momentarily. President Trump says the U.S. Navy blockade will go back into effect as Iran claims it has closed the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. first put in place a naval blockade in that area effective April 13th, aimed at countering Iran's closure of the strait. On June 14th, Trump authorized the immediate removal of the blockade, and it was officially lifted on June 18th as part of the deal between the U.S. and Iran. But, where does all this stand now? ABC's Karen Travers, she has more.
President Trump said Monday he was reinstating the U.S. Navy blockade near the Strait of Hormuz and also claimed the U.S. would charge a 20% toll on all cargo shipped through that waterway, saying it was a, quote, matter of fairness. He didn't say how that would work or why the U.S. had the right to do that in an international waterway that he himself has said should be free for commercial travel. The president earlier today told Fox News the U.S. would take control of the Strait of Hormuz and get paid for protecting it.
The death of Senator Lindsey Graham at 71 years of age and the continued health issues for Senator Mitch McConnell, he's 84, that does call attention to the average age of U.S. lawmakers. ABC's Wayne Cabot, he's got the details.
Never in history has Congress been this old. The U.S. Constitution sets the minimum age requirement to be in the Senate at 30 and the House at 25. It does not set a maximum. The average age of the current Senate is 64. Half the members are over 65. The oldest, Chuck Grassley in Iowa, 92. The youngest, John Ossoff of Georgia, 39. Average age in the House has soared from under 50 in the early 1980s to 58.
Now let's turn to this morning's money news. For that, we'll check in with Jim Ryan.
Stock futures point to a lower start to the week after the major averages posted gains to close out last week. The Dow on Friday rose 150 points to end the session at 52,637. The Nasdaq headed 0.3%, the S&P 0.4. Renewed fighting between the U.S. and Iran has oil prices rising again. World benchmark Brent crude was approaching $79 a barrel overnight. Gasoline is up about 8 cents a gallon in the past week, according to AAA. Apple is accusing OpenAI of stealing trade secrets. In a new federal lawsuit, the tech giant claims the artificial intelligence company and its chief hardware officer had a coordinated plan to get hold of confidential details about future Apple products. Big blue buildings will soon pop up in more U.S. locations. IKEA tells USA Today that it plans to break ground on 6 new home goods stores before the end of the year. Of the company's 500 stores worldwide, only about 50 are in the U.S.
Looking at stock numbers, everything's down except the price of a barrel of oil, of course. But the Dow, it's down 118. The S&P's down 26. NASDAQ, it's down 216. Brent crude, it's up to $79 a barrel. That's the latest news. We've got weather coming up. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
39 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to us on all the apps, the FM dial. You're welcome to join the show at 615-737-9986. You can also jump inside the chat on YouTube and Rumble. Hit like and subscribe while you're there. Got a lot of kids to feed. And bread and water, that's what they've had all weekend. So we got to get those likes up. I told them, I said, Dad, please, can we get some butter? And I said, no, not until we get those likes up.
You can take an extra breath of fresh air with your water.
I said, you know what goes great on that bread? The crust. Just you take the crust off and you sprinkle it on top. It's a flavor enhancer.
It's called repurposing.
That's what we're doing until we get the likes up. I will say we've had some good likes.
All right.
The kids are at summer camp this week.
All right.
It's a free camp. But
hey, whatever it takes, man.
It didn't cost us anything.
That's right.
But we had to pay for gas, so thank you.
My summer camp was the front yard or the backyard or just wherever, but not in the house.
You know, that's what you got to do. My boys have been running around the yard with a BB gun.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, this is America.
America.
So just don't shoot anyone's eye out, kid.
Yeah, and tell them to leave the woodpeckers alone, too, because they'll come back at you.
We've heard horror stories.
Yeah, I learned my lesson.
I saw a gorgeous woodpecker the other day.
They're beautiful.
Stunning. And then I said, shoot him right between the eyes.
It's not real.
That's a robot, boys. And then, we saw a hawk, a massive hawk.
Yes, sir.
And I think you're not allowed to shoot those.
No,
you get in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, you'll really be having some bread and water there.
Yeah, so I told them, I said, so you leave the hawk alone.
Unless it swipes at you.
Those are the expensive drones, boys. The bigger they are, the more expensive they get. So they really frown on you taking them out. So I played a video the other week, and it was a guy riding a drone to and from work in Indonesia.
Interesting.
So they said it got a community note, and they said he just did it for social media. I'm like, I still think it's sick.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want one of those.
Just because it was a stunt doesn't mean it was awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool, actually. I would do that.
Imagine that, Brother Chris. Imagine how fast you could get to and from the borough, and you would have no delays.
None.
Imagine water balloons you could throw at cars on 24.
I'd be flying over 24. I'd be like, look at the plebes dealing with their potholes. Well, listen, I would be, you ready for Radio Segway Gold? I'd be willing to take the drone risk because the illegal alien truck driver risk is still out there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
There's outrage erupting because in just 1 week, three American citizens have been killed by illegal aliens on the roadway. And this is, we've talked about this a lot. We had Danielle Chaffin in, who we got to get her back on for an update real soon because she's fantastic. And the illegal alien truckers, they're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. Kayleigh McEnany was covering this over the weekend on Fox. It was 1 week, 3 Americans killed allegedly. You got to throw in the allegedly by foreign drivers.
Allegedly.
You say allegedly. One of them was like a sweet little girl. The picture, if you're watching on Super Talk TV, this poor little girl in her ballet uniform, I would be seeing red as a father. The other guy, 18-year-old, or it looks 18 to 20, young man, whole life ahead of him. Another was a state trooper who's out there just trying to protect people. This is sick. We need to get a handle on this, and we need to get a handle on it fast.
Listen to this. In 1 week, 3 Americans who you are looking at, yes, 3 Americans were killed allegedly at the hands of foreign drivers, some of which were in our country illegally and were operating massive tractor trailers. One could not speak English and had to use Google Translate to talk to the cops.
That's fine.
And the human toll is heartbreaking. Take, for example, this beautiful 6-year-old girl who was killed after a 3-time deported illegal immigrant from Mexico ran a stop sign and struck the car that she was riding in.
Can I just say that, and I was actually, so when my son, it was his birthday over the weekend, right? And Virginia went into the Publix with Bishop so he could pick out his own cake. And then I don't know how it came up, but I got my two older kids in the back seat, and the death penalty came up. And I was like, no, I support the death penalty. And then I slowly turned around and I said, actually, I think we need more death penalty. And they said, what? I said, I do. I think that we need more death penalty. Not less, a whole lot more. And I think I would highlight this as one of the cases where I think, yes, we need more death penalty. We have given you 3 chances to go home, and you continue to break into this country. And now you've cost the life of a beautiful 6-year-old little girl in America. I'm sorry. I don't think that you deserve anything but sudden, quick death. And you could argue if sudden and quick is the right method or if slow and painful is the more preferred route. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you. You had 3 chances to go home. You continue to sneak into this country. Then you run a stop sign and you kill a little girl. Sorry. Wood chipper feet first, slow speed. Who's gonna push the legislation? Like, I mean, are you watching on Super Talk TV? You see this sweet little girl? Oh my gosh. Could you imagine being her parents? Could you imagine that? Could you imagine being her grandmother? That ache, that pain that you're going to feel for the rest of your life? Because some scumbag couldn't stay in his own country? I can't. More death penalty, not less. 3 American citizens killed in 1 week by illegal aliens. Crazy.
Tragic. That suspect was driving with a revoked license and has a history of drunk driving.
Remember though, Democrats, including some in leadership positions like, I don't know, former presidents of the United States, said drunk driving shouldn't even be a deportable offense. Shouldn't even be deportable. No. Took the life of a 6-year-old girl. I just quickly just end it. More death penalty.
And a 21-year-old soccer player from the University of Massachusetts, Tobias Forsyth, a young man who had his entire life ahead of him, is dead after a truck driver here on a visa rammed into the back of another vehicle, killing him. And when cops arrived at the scene, the driver had to use Google Translate to speak with them. He apparently tried to rip off the dash camera and destroy it, according to the police. He also tried to smash his phone and logging device multiple times. The suspect entered the United States under Biden's diversity lottery program in 2024.
Is this fine? This is good still? You know, Democrats will argue against mass deportations, and I would argue that that's the moderate solution. That is a measured approach to what some of these monsters actually deserve.
And before I tell you about this next heartbreaking case, listen to Massachusetts Democrat Governor Maura Healey in her own words when she was asked if she supports giving illegal immigrants driver's licenses.
And tell me about the driver's licenses for the undocumented. You think that's a good move? Do you think that's going to help the state in the long run?
No. So just to break this down, this is from 2022, the clip that they're playing. And Maura Healey, the stunning and brave progressive governor of Massachusetts, she's got her campaign signs behind her, and they're just total rainbow flags, just pride everything. I mean, she's the type of woman where, like, I could predict every position that she's going to have without her saying a word. Because what she's going to do is she's going to take the furthest left stance on every single thing. So when he says, is this going to help Massachusetts in the long run here? You know, giving these illegal aliens driver's license? She's going to say, yes, absolutely. Vital to our economy.
In the short run?
Absolutely. With driver's license, you have somebody actually getting the training so that they're going to be out on the road safely.
Now I want you to meet Pennsylvania State Trooper Michael Pahira, Jr., whose family is mourning him today after he was killed allegedly at the hands of an illegal immigrant who was given a non-domiciled commercial driver's license by the state of Massachusetts.
Well, it worked out fine for Massachusetts, probably, but in Pennsylvania, they're now mourning a state trooper. Crazy. I mean, you think of the ripple effects in these people's lives. the friends, the families that are just completely ripped apart by people that should have never been here in the first place. Awful.
That license was renewed in 2026 despite his parole being terminated in 2025. He should not have even been in our country.
None of them should have. None of them. And if we're being honest, we have to take a hard look at not just illegal immigration, but immigration in total. Because we are slow walking towards an AI era where, a third to 50%, maybe even more of the jobs in this country are going to be eliminated. Why would we give any jobs to a foreigner? Why aren't we putting Americans first? And before anybody on the text line goes, oh, gee whiz, you're a racist. It's like, no. Americans don't have a skin color. Okay? They don't. It's all Americans should be put first. Oh, gee whiz, that's racist. Yeah, all right. Well, tell the families of these people that died. I could go further. Tim Walz, who's not running for re-election because of the fraud that was exposed by one Nick Shirley, he's now facing some renewed calls to resign early, and it's because Tim Walz's administration, they pardoned a child rapist who just so happened to be an illegal alien. Yep. They pardoned an illegal alien child rapist. Kayleigh McEnany covered.
New York problem, except here we go. There are DSA candidates in Missouri, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, New Hampshire. So what is your plan to defeat these radicals?
Well, I think we just have to bring their issues to the American people, and the American people are going to reject them. Let's talk about the views that they're actually espousing and what they want to bring to the country. You said it, as they say in their documents, all amnesty for all illegal immigrants, no deportations at all, not even the criminals. So let's have a real-world example of that. A few weeks ago, Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, pardoned an illegal immigrant who repeatedly sexually assaulted a 10-year-old girl. And then he pardoned him. He doesn't want to get rid of him. He doesn't want to get him out of the country. And it took Marco Rubio stepping up at the president's direction to basically remove the protections that he had to keep him here. The DSA thinks that guy needs to stay here. He needs to be out of prison, and he needs to be on the streets.
Again, when I say that we need more death penalty, not less death penalty, this is one of the cases that I'm talking about. You're repeatedly sexually assaulting a 10-year-old girl? Oh, cool. Right this way, sir. Stand here for a moment. I mean, what? Like, am I wrong in thinking that? I don't think I'm wrong in thinking that. And then it gets even worse because do you know what Tim Walz had to say? He said that when it came to deporting this monster who had been raping a 10-year-old girl over and over again for years, when it came to deporting him, he said he doesn't know how that would make Minnesota safer. Excuse me?
In case I would state this, that I can find no reason how Minnesota will be safer or better if Mr. Vang is deported to a country he has not been to since he was a child.
You can find no reason why Minnesota would be safer or better by deporting an illegal alien child rapist. So I guess that would mean the opposite is true. Minnesota is actually better and safer when you have illegal alien child rapists walking free on the street. Because you pardoned him. This is the details in this, okay? The conviction was in about 2005, 2006. He pleaded guilty and was convicted of first-degree criminal sexual conduct for repeatedly sexually abusing a 10-year-old girl, a relative no less, over a period from approximately 2002 to 2004. Details from the report. He began assaulting the victim when she was 10. During initial interviews, he downplayed the abuse as a minor thing and attributed it to cultural norms from his background. He had illegally entered the U.S. as a child around 1994. Following the conviction, he lost his lawful permanent resident status. An immigration judge issued a final order of removal, deportation in 2006. But in late June of 2026, the Minnesota Board of Pardons, including Governor Tim Walz, Attorney General Keith Ellison, and a state Supreme Court justice, granted Vang a pardon, effectively erasing the state-level conviction for purposes like immigration consequences. The board cited factors including a statement of support from the victim, community letters, and Vang's expression of regret. Why did it take 20 years? They should have handled that monster that week after he was convicted, and everybody knows it. 1054 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. And are you looking to save some money? Well, Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, they're buzzing with some of the sweetest deals of the season. You need a new HVAC system. You're feeling it right now if you need it. Well, if you purchase one today, you select a high-efficiency unit. You're going to get a free air duct fogging and a UV light home treatment to help keep your home's air so fresh and so clean. Maybe the AC is good, but the plumbing has been a problem. Well, you can save $800 on whole home water and drain line replacements. And here's some neighborly love. You join the Busy Bee Beehive Club, you'll get one free yearly Beehive membership to give to somebody in your neighborhood. Maybe you got a neighbor that you need to take care of, a neighbor that always looks out for you. Maybe you need to grease the wheels with the HOA president. Whatever it is, Busy Bee's got you covered. You need financing. Qualified buyers can get 0% for 18 months. No interest if paid in full within the 18 months. 615-775-7833. That's Busy Bee's telephone number. 615-775-7833. Or find them online at busybeehvac.com.
All right, drivers. I got a feeling that drivers in Wilson County feel about 109 like I do I-24, because right now you've got road work on 109 in Lebanon. Only one lane is open. It is a 4-minute delay there southbound between Hickory Ridge Road and East Division Street. Summer storms creating states of emergency, including parts of Tennessee. We'll tell you about that story and more coming up at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. It's 59 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Did you say a 4-minute delay on 109?
4-minute delay on 109, brother Chris.
In Middle Tennessee, a 4-minute delay rolls off our back like water on a duck, my friend.
Yeah, 24, we're used to that sort of thing.
That's nothing. That's light work. We could do a 4-minute delay in my sleep. I might delay traffic 4 minutes on my own, just because. I mean, some of the stuff that Ken has got on the air, he's like, it's bad.
It's bad, boys.
I remember that.
It's bad.
Do you remember that? One time Ken hops on for his teas, and it scared me. He's like, it's bad. It's bad. I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? It's like, we got a 2-hour delay out there. I was like, okay. I thought we were going to war or something. I thought it was real bad, but that is real bad.
I need to get my priorities straight.
2 hours is something.
2 hours is something. 4 minutes. But no, if you're in a hurry, man, 4 minutes, that'll do it.
That's why you got to plan that the latest you're going to be there is on time.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially around here. Especially around here. Hey, on the way, we'll take some of your phone calls. Sharon's hanging on the line. Pete's hanging on the line. We'll talk to you guys next. Plus, we got a few more stories. Nick Shirley giving some updates on fraud. I'll bring you the latest. It's 11 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
It's 11 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. Summer storms creating states of emergency on this half of the United States, including here in Tennessee. Here's ABC News Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z.
Flash floods and mudslides hitting eastern Tennessee, too. Crumbling roads, damaging buildings, and flooding businesses in Del Rio.
You think you prepare enough for it, but it's an act of nature.
Meanwhile, Camp Tom Sauk in Missouri, deep in Friday's flood zone.
One of the cabins, you couldn't even see because you could only see the tippy top of the roof.
The National Guard sweeping in with Black Hawk helicopters to rescue more than 200 staff and campers.
Yeah, flood recovery assistance has begun arriving there in Del Rio after those heavy rains caused all that damage there in Cott County. President Trump says the U.S. Navy blockade will go back into effect as Iran claims it has closed the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. first put in place a naval blockade in that area effective April 13th, aimed at countering Iran's closure of the strait. On June 14th, Trump authorized the immediate removal of the blockade, and it was officially lifted on June 18th as part of that deal between the U.S. and Iran. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers.
President Trump said Monday he was reinstating the U.S. Navy blockade near the Strait of Hormuz and also claimed the U.S. would charge a 20% toll on all cargo shipped through that waterway, saying it was a, quote, matter of fairness. He didn't say how that would work or why the U.S. had the right to do that in an international waterway that he himself has said should be free for commercial travel. The president earlier today told Fox News the U.S. would take control of the Strait of Hormuz and get paid for protecting it. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Well, if it seems that everyone is using Wegovy or Ozempic, here's why. A new survey finds the percentage of Americans who've tried GLP-1s for weight loss has never been higher.
The Gallup organization surveyed 5,000 people spread across all 50 states, finding that 15% of them have tried GLP-1 drugs since they hit the market, and about 11% are on them now. That's more than triple the percentage of 2024. The Gallup National Health and Wellbeing Index doesn't draw conclusions, but did find that the national obesity rate has fallen to 36.4% of the population, 5.5% lower than in 2022. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
6 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. I've had a couple people waiting on the line to weigh in. Let's start with Pete in Nashville. Want to talk about CDLs and illegal aliens. What's up, Pete? How are you?
I'm doing okay there, Chris. I'm calling to let you know that I have 40 years driving when I retired in 2017. I retired to help take care of my wife who had been sick and stuff, but now she's getting better.
Praise
and
God.
now I'm helping take care of my older son who got sick, had to have surgery, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I've kind of spent a lot of my savings on helping him. So I thought I'd get back in the trucking industry, work a few years, make some quick money.
Yeah.
But every company I have talked to, I'm talking about MVTL, Averitt, FedEx, I can go down the line, said that I don't have enough experience in the last 10 years for them to hire me.
Really?
Yes. I have almost 3 million miles accident-free. I have over 40 years driving, almost 5 million miles logged.
So when you hear a story about an illegal alien trucker who is using Google Translate to communicate with police, and they're telling you that you don't have enough experience, I mean, what thoughts are running through your head?
I am thinking that these people are just trying to get someone to work as cheaply as possible.
I mean,
and they don't care about the safety on the highways.
Do you think that these companies need to be held more accountable?
I think the companies need to be held more accountable. Like places that, like all the companies I have went to have said, well, our insurance won't allow us to hire you. And I said, with my experience, your insurance won't allow you to hire me. No, because you don't have enough experience in the last 10 years.
So is this something where you'd have to, like, if you went in and you got more training or recertification, would that help? Or is it just...
I have every certification that a license can have. Hazmat, doubles, triples, tanker, you name it.
What?
I have it.
That seems like completely ass backwards.
Yeah, I agree. Now, I am 72 years old, but I work, I lift batteries all day. Well, not all day, but through a good part of the day, I carry batteries. And I'm talking some up to 80 pounds. I lift rotors for cars, trucks, drums, you know.
Age is just a number in your situation.
Right.
So I'm getting a couple texts, Pete, and I mean, I hope this helps you. I'm not a trucker. I'm not an expert in this field by any stretch. But a couple people have texted in. One guy, 8438, said, suggest 3 Rusty Nails LLC in Morrison, Tennessee. And then 8949 said to call Big G Express, Titan, or Jones in Shelbyville.
Well, yeah, they have been in contact with me, but they want over the road, and I need something where I can be home every night to make sure my wife is okay and everything, because even though she's doing better, I still want to keep an eye on her.
Yeah, you're looking out for your wife. Do you? Another texter wanted to know if you feel like is this age discrimination against you?
They won't say that, but it's beginning to feel that way. But I don't know if it's the company or the insurance companies.
What about Parman Energy? Have you talked to Parman Energy? Another texter said Parman Energy will have you home every night.
I will give them a try. I haven't tried them.
And I've had a few people say Sadler Brothers.
Sadler. I haven't seen them, where they're asking for drivers, but
okay,
Ryder.
Here's what I'll do, Pete. just when we'll close this out, and then I'll take this offline with you, and I'll you shoot me a text on the super text line, and be like, hey, it's Pete, the guy that we just spoke to, and then I'll copy and paste. I'm getting a ton of suggestions for you. I'll copy and paste every suggestion that the super texters are sending in, the vast staff, and I'll make sure that you have them all in your text messages.
All right. What's the super text line again?
Same number that you just called.
Okay.
So just text this number and say, hey, it's Pete, and then I'll do a copy and paste job for you with everything that everybody's sending in.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for listening, Pete, and we'll be praying for your wife and for your son, and God bless you for doing what you do, man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Let's go to Sharon in the borough. Sharon wants to talk about Mitch McConnell. What do you want to talk about, Sharon? Thanks for holding.
Hey, good morning, Chris. Hey, but first of all, congratulations on the new baby. And I feel sorry there's going to be another baby with bread and water only.
We got to get those likes up. It's tough with the little ones because they're not great on solids. So, but we'll mash the bread up. We'll mash it up.
I was going to say that if the bread is chewy, it might be tough.
Yeah, we'll pour some water and then we'll make it into like a paste.
Okay, very good. Well, so Mitch McConnell, the photo that came out with the announcement, whatever, that photo it's old. I mean, it's obviously not current. It's obviously not. Is it just me? He looks like at least 5, maybe 10 years younger in that photo.
I'm looking at the photo right now. Can you put the photo up on the screen for the super texters? I mean, for the Super Talk TVers, Mason. Put that photo on the screen for me. I mean, I'm looking at it. It does look like it doesn't pass the sniff test.
That is not current. I mean, it's definitely not a current photo. And especially if you're in rehab and you've just been in the hospital for 3 weeks. That he looks too good.
Well, and he's also wearing like a collared shirt, right? Isn't he still in the hospital?
Did I maybe? Seems like I heard in one of the news snippets that he was. I'm not sure how early that was earlier when I was listening. I don't know if that was your show or the end of the earlier show. Maybe he had gone to rehab. Somebody maybe said that he got out of the hospital and he's been in rehab.
Yeah, I mean, there's another photo too where it's like I got one from Axios on the screen, and it kind of cuts off the bottom. But let me put this one up because apparently he's holding a newspaper too, like it's some sort of hostage photo, and people are saying that is that day's Washington Post. That's what they're saying. I don't know how accurate it is.
Listen, my someone in my family just had a fall and was in the hospital and then went to rehab, and they didn't look nearly as good as they did before they before they fell.
Well, and I don't think Mitch McConnell's looked this good in years.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I mean, it just, when you're in the hospital and rehab like that, you just look kind of rough for a little while at least, no matter how old you are. But he's, 82? No, how old is he, 80-something? That's not a man, that's not current. I'd stake my life on it that is not the current photo of him. It does look very Photoshopped. They don't look like they're in the same room.
You might be right. I'm not. It doesn't feel authentic. A lot of people are accusing it of being AI. I don't know. I'm not an expert in that area, but it wouldn't shock me.
Either.
It wouldn't shock me.
But I'm an expert in being a fake. I mean, fake. I can smell a fake miles away.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, Sharon, I appreciate it.
Whether it's Photoshop or AI, I don't know, but it's fake. I can just tell you. And I'm just so fed up with all these yahoos that want to stay there forever because it's so selfish.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Hey, I appreciate the call as always, Sharon. Thank you for holding as long as you did.
Sure.
This is the statement from McConnell's office. To my fellow Kentuckians, when you elected me to a seventh term and made our Commonwealth's longest-serving senator, you did so trusting that I'd keep showing up to fight for you every day. And over the past several weeks, Elaine and I have appreciated both your well wishes and your honest questions about what was keeping me away from the Senate. You all know, folks of my generation often hesitate to share the vulnerability that comes with growing older. Even in the public eye, I feel that same instinct. I can't help it. But at the same time, I've had more than my share of experience with physical vulnerabilities. This is McConnell's statement. Surviving childhood polio meant spending my entire life with mobility challenges. They haven't exactly gotten easier to manage with age, and last month I took a fall, which landed me in the hospital. My doctors have confirmed that I didn't break any bones or suffer a concussion. I didn't have a heart attack or a stroke. I don't have any tumors or hemorrhages, but I was briefly unconscious and was taken to the hospital. While receiving excellent care over the past several weeks, I've also had to deal with a mild case of pneumonia. I can assure you, I've been a very good patient. At my age, I tend to do what my doctors tell me to do. I've submitted to every test they can think of to help figure out what caused this incident, and I'm continuing to do everything they ask to speed my recovery. In fact, with signs of continued progress, I've been able to move from hospital care to a rehabilitation center where I'll keep regaining my strength. As much as it frustrates me, this process takes time. And on the advice of my doctors, I won't be able to return to the Senate floor to vote quite yet. But rest assured that in the meantime, I'm not taking a break from the Senate business that matters to you. I've been working closely with my legislative staff on current issues and with my Kentucky team who helped me provide timely constituent services across our Commonwealth. I've also been keeping in touch with my Senate colleagues on the appropriations process, midterm politics, and everything in between. You're right to expect your representatives to work hard for you. And part of my decision to retire at the end of my term this coming January was being honest about the demands of Senate work. But I have still unfinished business to complete on your behalf, and I have every intention of finishing the job you elected me to do. And I'll keep working hard to get back on the Senate floor as soon as possible. And I'll keep you posted on the progress of my recovery. Until then, I'm so grateful for your prayers and well wishes. That's a statement on Mitch McConnell. And then if you're looking at SuperTalk TV, he is holding a newspaper. He's holding a newspaper, and was it Republicans Against Trump? So I don't know. Take that for what you will. Republicans Against Trump posted the photo, and they said, that is today's paper. And it's got a sports section with the Aggies, homegrown talent, and it's Mitch McConnell reading the sports section. I don't know. What do you think? Does this pass the sniff test for you, Mason? I don't know. That's nice and all. I don't know if it's real. Could you fake that with Photoshop or with AI?
Yeah.
I mean, the words are super blurry. And it has the picture that matches up with the headline from the Washington Post sports page from yesterday, July 12th, when this was posted. Maybe it's real. Maybe it's not. I don't know. It wouldn't shock me if they were lying. I could tell you that much. Wouldn't shock me at all. But maybe they're telling the truth. Should we assume they're telling the truth, or should we assume that they're lying to us? I don't know. He's retiring one way or the other. I guess they're trying to get past an arbitrary deadline before they say that they've been weakened at burying him. Do people think they're weakened at burying him? I'll tell you the thing that I think is most suspect about this photo. It was that his wife was sitting next to him. That's the biggest tell for me. It's 11:21. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friend Aaron Parker over at Parker Safes and Vaults. Take a second and picture your valuables, the things that you hold near and dear to your heart, the things you would hate to lose. Maybe you have a collection of firearms, maybe it's some jewelry, some old coins, precious metals, or maybe it's other stuff. Maybe it's a guitar collection or the family heirlooms, the photo albums, the important documents, whatever those things are that you know are irreplaceable to you and your family. Now, imagine if you experienced a fire or a burglary and you lost all or even some of those things. It wouldn't feel good, and a lot of people have experienced this, whether it's either fire or theft, and they're left feeling completely violated or disheartened. Well, you can make a phone call today and remedy all of that. And that phone call is to my friends at Parker Safes and Vaults. They've been helping people protect what they treasure for close to 20 years. You make one call, and the experts at Parker Safes will help you choose the right safe for your needs and your budget. Then they'll deliver it and install it themselves. Veteran-owned, family-run, Christian business, helping people just like you with their security and protection needs since they started back in 2009. These guys sell serious products designed for serious protection. Brands like Liberty, American Security, Rhino, Heyman, Incus, Graf Under, and more. They specialize in the right safe for the right customer. Hundreds of 5-star reviews. These are the people that you need to call in Middle Tennessee. 931-842-6445. That's 931-842-6445. And you can always find them online, parkersafes.com.
Now with Venezuela, and we just so you understand, the people of Venezuela, they say if I ran for president of Venezuela, I'm polling higher than anybody has ever polled in Venezuela. So after I'm finished with this, I can go to Venezuela. I will quickly learn Spanish. It won't take too long. I'm good at language. And I will go to Venezuela. I'm going to run for president.
All right, drivers through Clarksville, we've got a 12-minute delay, 24 both directions due to some bridge work. Only one lane is open. This is going to be between Wilma Rudolph and that's exit 4 and then exit 1. Also in Lebanon, still got that road work, only one lane open. Highway 109 southbound between Hickory Ridge Road and East Division Street. And recovery efforts underway after damaging floods in East Tennessee. That's coming up at 11:30 in Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to us on all the apps, the FM dial. You can watch us on YouTube and Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe. I just want to say thank you to the audience. This audience is just the best. We had a guy, Pete, calling in, and we were talking about illegal alien trucking, and Pete says, he's trying to get back into the trucking industry, and he can't find work. And I said, well, text me, Pete, and I'll get the info, because everybody started sending in ideas for Pete. And I have so many more texts to keep sending Pete. Like I told him I would copy and paste everything and get it to him, and I'm doing that. But it's just, this audience is just unbelievable. It really is. You guys are just the best. Like I don't have all the answers, but I tell you what, if we ask you guys, we can always figure it out. So thank you to everybody for sending in some ideas for our friend Pete. Rick in Alabama wanted to talk about trucking as well. What's up, Rick? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. What do you got?
I've got two perspectives on this. I'm a driver myself. Started when I was 23. I'm 56 now, and I quit being over the road because of the influx of foreign drivers. So bad. You can't understand a word they're saying. They don't know how to follow the rules, read the signs, and it makes it difficult because with the onset of electronic logbooks, the ELDs, everything is micromanaged. So you can't, it's like they want to keep you busy, but at a point where you're starving constantly every day. And the foreign drivers don't care because they're not here for the American dream, most of them. They're here to make money and send it back home.
Yep.
And a lot of these companies will put 2, 3, I've seen 4 drivers hop out of trucks one time, a truck. And I don't know how 4 guys can live in a semi in a sleeper. But it's not just on my end. My wife was a GM of a national chain of truck stops. And the communication level, they can't read or write. They demand things like, I mean, she's been accosted, had stuff thrown at her from over the counter. She's been pushed, shoved. They get angry. They just don't understand the way we do things. Like when they close the road in Wyoming because of the wind, they want to go around, get back out on the, find a way around to get back onto the freeway. And then they get their truck blown over and they're wondering what happened. Well, that's because you were supposed to sit and wait for the winds to die down.
Yikes.
And it's scary. I tried doing it when we moved here from Idaho, and I had to be done with it. I can't. It's too much micromanagement and with the ELDs, and almost I would say probably 7 out of 10 trucks has a foreign driver that can't read or write English.
That's crazy.
And
I mean, do you think that there's any fixing this at this point?
I don't think so. I think when they start pushing the narrative that we have a driver shortage, when it's not necessarily a driver shortage, it's not the pay keeping up with the demand. So you may see less American-born drivers because they don't want to pay them.
Yep.
Because you need good, experienced drivers behind these wheels.
We had Danielle Chaffin was in here, and I appreciate the call, Rick. Danielle Chaffin was in here. We got to get her back on. We just have to. I'll text her today. But she said that it's the driver shortage is just that. It is an absolute myth. And would there be an issue? She said maybe for a couple of weeks until it all got sorted out. But other than that, it's just a huge myth. They don't want to pay American drivers is the issue. 11:30, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. And right now in East Tennessee, recovery efforts underway in Cott County after flash flooding damaged homes and properties in the Del Rio community. Meanwhile, Ginger Z says there are other states of emergency.
At least one person is dead in Missouri after as much as a foot of rain fell in just hours early Friday. Houses surrounded by water. More than 350 people rescued in Missouri alone. In Philadelphia, the National Weather Service confirming at least 4 microbursts tore through the city. 70-mile-per-hour winds downing hundreds of trees and ripping roofs off buildings.
President Trump today saying the U.S. will reinstate the naval blockade against Iranian ships and ports and would charge a 20% toll on all cargo shipped through the Strait of Hormuz.
Now we're going to guard it. We're going to get paid for guarding it. A lot of money. But we just want to be reimbursed for doing all of this, for putting our people in danger.
That's the president on Fox and Friends today. Tennessee is dead last in a report for quality of life. CNBC says it looked at factors including crime, healthcare access, child care, worker protections, state laws affecting inclusiveness. CNBC cited what it claims is Tennessee's high violent crime rate and healthcare challenges among the reasons for the ranking. The state's lone bright spot in this report was air quality. Remembering Sam Neill, the star of Jurassic Park and The Piano, who passed away at the age of 78 after a battle with blood cancer.
Known for his unmistakable voice and remarkable range, Neil built a career defined by memorable performances and enduring grace. Born in Northern Ireland and raised in New Zealand, Neil's career spanned more than 50 years. He found his breakout role in the 1977 film Sleeping Dogs, but it wasn't until the 1990s when he became known worldwide.
That is Lara Spencer and the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friend Shane Ring over at Cover Nash. You do not need to wait for the fall in open enrollment to get yourself some good health insurance. That's what the big insurance companies want you to believe. With Cover Nash, you can get covered today, right now, no waiting, no gimmicks. You missed open enrollment, no problem. You lost your job coverage, Cover Nash can help you out. If you're sick of overpriced junk insurance, or you want to ask somebody the question, honestly, transparently, do I have junk overpriced insurance? Talk to Shane Ring at Cover Nash. He'll steer you in the right direction. Cover Nash partners with over 75 top-rated insurance companies, including brand new nationwide PPO options with deductibles as low as $250, flat $50 doctor visits, ACA-compliant plans with free preventative care. Whether it's just you, it's the whole family, you're self-employed, or you got a whole small business with employees that you need to take care of, you can talk to Shane Ring. He's going to find you something great. Stop overpaying. Stop waiting. Stop thinking you're stuck. Go to covernash.com or call 615-465-0023. 615-465-0023. Covernash.com. 36 minutes past the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Big thanks once again to the vast staff helping our friend Pete out, who's looking for some work. Pete sounds like a good guy. I blew Pete's phone up. I don't know if Pete has ever gotten rapid fire text messages before, but he did today.
Dude, I saw the amount of messages you pumped through there and from the text line. It's nuts.
I'm trying to get them all. I don't even think I got all of them.
You are the best. Just gotta say it, gotta repeat it. You guys are awesome.
We love this. We love this audience. Like, truly do. And Pete sounds like a solid dude. Like, we should get Pete a job. I hope Pete gets some good work. I really do. We got a lot to get to. We're running out of time rapidly. I looked up and it's 11:37. How did that happen? Do you have any? I was asking like an actual question. Do you know how that happened?
It zoomed.
Okay.
Fast Monday.
We don't know.
We don't know.
And here we are.
Almost as fast as...
We're standing on the precipice of the lightning round.
It's the lightning round with Chris Hand.
Every day at this time, all the stories that we didn't get a chance to fill a whole segment with, stories we didn't get a chance to talk about, all that kind of stuff, we do it here. It's lightning round. So, it wasn't exactly.
Hold on, whoa, where's the energy?
It's lightning round, it's just we do lightning, we do the round. Did you see the meme that Sam made?
I did see the meme that Sam made.
Sam is the producer for the Dan Mandis Nashville Morning News Show. We call him the morning guy.
The morning guy.
I love Dan. So it was the fortune cookie ad from Marsha Blackburn. Yeah. And it's just gratuitous lightning.
Sorry, every time you do a little sing-song to the song, I feel like I have to hit it.
They're not even Chinese, yeah. So
I should have.
The Marsha Blackburn Chinese fortune cookie commercial. Sam created a meme, and she's opening the fortune cookie, and it says, "Well, Dan." And it's so funny. So Sam had texted me that. So then this is how the morning went. So then I sent it to our Facebook guy, Rich. He does a lot more than Facebook. I'm oversimplifying it, but he has the keys to the Facebook kingdom. And I said, you need to post this immediately. And it says, who do you like in the governor's race? # Tennessee. 470 comments so far on that since this morning when we posted it, just a little under 3 hours ago. Is that crazy? Overwhelmingly Monty Fritz. Like overwhelmingly. Right? Am I reading that wrong? I don't want just at least co-sign me, because I don't think I'm lying. A lot of likes. A lot of comments. And it's a lot of people pushing Monty Fritz. But when we talked about the fortune cookie ad, I kind of made fun of it. And I don't blame Marsha Blackburn. I think that she has the same people running her campaign that she did last time. But do you remember last time she had the ad where she was smashing china plates? Do you remember that? She was smashing the plates. She was smashing china. Get it? And now she's smashing fortune cookies.
Get it?
Get it? But everybody's giving her grief because they're not actually Chinese whatsoever. They're Japanese and American. So it's become a big meme. And I made the point that, like, you're not connecting with the audience. You're not connecting with the voter base. And I've talked with people in political circles, and they're like, that commercial wasn't for you anyway. That commercial was for, the cable news viewers. That commercial was for the local news viewers, your ABC, CBS, NBC types, right? Maybe it connects. Maybe I'm just being hard on it. That could be very well within the realm of possibility that I'm too online, so I find it too cringy. But even my 12-year-old over the weekend, she was watching America's Funniest Home Videos on ABC last night, and because it's AFV, it's hilarious. We love that. And the commercial came on, She's like, what is that? And I went to monologue. And my wife just said, stop, let her talk. Which is, I mean, it's an uphill battle in my house, I'll be honest with you. The whole letting other people talk, it's tough living with me. Because I want to go into political monologuing.
It's like it's your job.
And my wife said, stop. Let her talk. And my wife led into it. And she said, well, what do you think about it, Kennedy? And the overwhelming reaction from my daughter was kind of cringy. But my wife gave me the good counterpoint. She said, maybe this is doing exactly what she wanted it to do because people are talking about her. Right? Maybe. I mean, that very well could be true. And if that was the goal, mission accomplished. Because you know who else is talking about her now? Mayor Freddie O'Connell. And a lot of people are hating on him for this, but I honestly think it's brilliant. I really do. And I don't want to give flowers to Freddie where they're undeserved, but I thought that this was actually pretty good. And y'all know how I feel about Freddie. Yeah, I don't think there's any love lost between myself and Mr. O'Connell. But this was kind of brilliant. Somebody tweeted this at me. Jason tweeted this at me. He said, it's cringe as ever. And I was like, I actually like it. Like, it shows that he's in tune with not just his own base, but also he's in tune with conservatives who have been calling this cringy. So it's Mayor Freddie. And I think he posted this. He posted this on the TikTok. I think it was the TikTok. Of course it was. China, right? So he posted this on TikTok, and he's sitting at a burger joint, which it doesn't make any sense why you'd have fortune cookies there in the first place. A little forced. But he opens up a fortune cookie, and where's that coming from? Got a lot of noise coming in. Hold on. Oh, it was Mitch McConnell being put into an ambulance. Sorry. I had that running in the background on tab. Do you know how many tabs I have open at any given moment? Does anybody know?
So many.
All right. So I have two screens, and on one screen I have 13 tabs open, and then on this screen where we play the videos, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 tabs. It's chaotic. You know, I've thought about doing things like putting in fake tabs just to troll people if they're paying attention. Have you seen people do that on the internet?
Yeah. It's
pretty funny.
It's great.
I thought about doing it, and then I was like, it'll get me in trouble. So I haven't done it yet. All the tabs are mine, for better or worse. So Mayor Freddie puts this video out. And he's in a crowded restaurant. He's eating a cheeseburger, and he gets a fortune cookie, and then he eats the fortune cookie first. So, like, there's a lot of faux pas here, but let's look past it. Let's look past it, because it is pretty funny. And then he reads the fortune cookie, and it says, this is where it just jumps the shark. Fear divides. Nashville unites. It's awful. It's even cringier and cheesier, but there's a little bit of brilliance in there. There is, right?
It's leaning into the meme for sure.
He leaned into the meme. We leaned into the meme. People are meme leaning. You don't think it'd be like it is, but it do. Fear divides. Nashville unites. Unless you're a business being forced out. Then we're going to divide. Then it's not going to work out for you because we're raising property taxes. But other than that, we will unite.
Stop it. Get some help.
Got another story for you here in the lightning round. I didn't know we were still doing this, and I'm honestly stunned that we're still doing this. But the Trump White House just found something at the Smithsonian Museum.
What happened?
There was an LGBTQ transgender display geared towards children.
Ah, shocker.
Why? Get this, ready? They found, you tell me why this belongs in a museum. If you can make it make sense, I'm here to have you change my mind. This is what they found in the Smithsonian Museum. A little girl's diary wishing she grew a penis and identifying as a boy. Because museum, obviously, you stupid bigot. A photo of a trans non-binary skateboarder's chest binder. We're not talking trapper keepers. That is a device to... You ever see the Chinese foot binding?
Yeah.
Where they would like deform the feet?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, but with boobs. They found an exhibit featuring images of drag queens and half-nude women. Of course.
San Francisco.
And this is according to Kayleigh McEnany, who she did it like a real news person. I didn't, but she did. A rubber crotch harness used for something she can't even say on air. Dude, what? If you think that a rubber crotch harness shouldn't be in the Smithsonian Museum, you might be a bigot.
National Museum of American History, you would expect to learn about, well, American history. But a new White House report says they are teaching anything but that. Extreme political activism. Apparently, that is what they are teaching. Now, Saturday in America got a copy of the report, and here is what was found on full display at the Smithsonian. A diary entry by a child named Ryan, who used to go by the name of Jennifer and now considers himself a boy. Ryan wrote in his diary that he prayed to God every night for his private parts to grow. A photo of a trans non-binary skateboarder's chest binder, a device used to make himself appear more like a man while skateboarding.
It actually says your authenticity is your superpower. Stunning and brave.
And then there's an exhibit featuring images of drag queens and half-nude women. And another, a rubber crotch harness used for something I can't even say on air. In their Entertainment Nation exhibit, the museum dragged iconic American pieces through the mud. They framed ukuleles as, quote, both a product of U.S. imperialism and a potent symbol of Native Hawaiian resistance.
Ukuleles are so problematic, and I'm tired. I'm tired of pretending that they're not. At least they got something right. The ukulele should be smashed and burned, and its remnants should be discarded into the sands of history, and everyone knows it.
That Wild West shows were subjugating indigenous people into theater, and that Mickey Mouse represents long-standing traditions of blackface. They called Christopher Columbus a murderer, slaver, killer, and thief, and framed Christian pilgrims as colonizers who referred to Thanksgiving as a national day of mourning. And get this, a 2020 document from a museum-endorsed toolkit lays out the aspects and assumptions of whiteness and white culture, saying that objective, rational, linear thinking and hard work are qualities of white people.
Oh, I didn't know. I had no idea. You're telling me for the first time.
They would go on to apologize for that, quote, whiteness memo.
Well, that's good. What about the chest binders and the Mickey Mouse being a black-faced racist and the damaging besmirchment of the ukulele? I actually do agree with the ukulele thing. Get rid of it. Nothing good has ever come from a ukulele. I'm not going to pretend that it has. Got another server here in the lightning round. Thank you.
You besmirched a musical instrument. I had to give you applause.
Do you like the ukulele?
I like it.
Why?
I don't know. It's in some songs that I like. I don't know. I may own one.
You own a ukulele?
I own a ukulele.
You made me stop the clip right as I was about to get going. How much did you pay for the ukulele?
Like $40 at most.
What?
There was a music shop down the road going out of business. To be fair, it's like a $400 ukulele, and I got it very, very good priced.
Okay, no ukulele should ever cost $400.
No.
Don't tell me that you got this with the Christmas money I gave you.
No.
Thank goodness.
No, I got this like 3 years ago.
Okay. Have you practiced on it?
I've played it.
Can you jam out on the ukulele?
I don't know about jam, but I can play like 3 or 4 songs.
You've had it for 3 years and you can only play 3 or 4 songs?
You said it's the ukulele. I said, I didn't say it was a great instrument. I said I enjoyed it.
Got another server right here in the lightning round.
Makes sense.
All right, let's just here. We gotta have a palate cleanser after Mason.
Oh, come on.
With his ukulele talk.
Another one.
All right, here's your palate cleanser from the Toronto police.
Contacted by the Crown
at the Ontario Court of Justice to assist with the case that they had. So they asked me to reach out to the victim and make sure she's safe and take her home.
He drove me home in the fabulous Pride SUV.
Not the palate cleanser we were looking for, sir. Actually, please bring back the ukulele. Can we talk about the ukulele? This is a man dressed as a woman, going by the name Nevada, and it's got the pride flag behind him, her, and also a very rainbow, colorful cobra.
And as he was driving me home, we reached a stoplight, and then an individual in a pickup truck came up to us.
A transgender cop car. Look at that.
It says large gay black man wearing blonde wig and civilian clothing.
Are you guys cops, or you just identify as cops? That's none of your business, and I'm hands-free, so there's nothing you can do. I'm just asking you a question, Sergeant. Are you cops, or you identify as cops? I have no idea. That reality doesn't exist anymore, right?
Part of me was shocked, but part of me was not shocked. I am a trans woman. I've been transitioning for 8 years. I get harassed and vilified every day of my life.
Yeah. I don't know if it had to do with you. You make everything about you. I think it had to do with the rainbow paint job on the car. I think that's what it was. Also, the guy saying, are you guys cops or you just identify as them? Hilarious. 11:53, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
Hey, it's Dan Mandis from Super Talk 99.7 WTN and Nashville's Morning News. I'm here with Chris from USS, United Structural Systems. He's checking out my basement, my foundation, my crawl space to see if there's anything wrong. Fingers crossed. All right, so there's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is we found some cracks in my basement wall. The good news, I've got Chris here who's going to walk me through the next steps.
Yes, so unfortunately, your house has been subject to the pressure of the dirt. The hydrostatic pressure, heavy dirt pushes on foundation walls, and you've got a little bit of what we call bowing. So that wall is pushed in a little bit. We have a lifetime warranty solution for that. So we install, usually in a day or two, this can be done in most situations. We install carbon fiber straps, which keep the wall from moving inward at any point in the future. It's a lifetime warranty for anybody that ever owns this house. So it's a quick and routine thing that we do, but it yields some long-lasting benefits.
It's a great selling point if you want to sell your house.
Absolutely. Good thing about our warranties is they're not only transferable, like the contract says, they're automatically transferred when you sell your house. So you don't have to sign any paperwork or even send us an email saying that you sold your house. Warranty would transfer to the next owner.
11:58, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. Mason Fleming's producing. Ken Weaver's in the newsroom. Chad Benson's in the studio. He walks in here and he goes, "Oh, they didn't fix the TV yet?" Apparently, Chad has been watching too much soccer on the TV in the studio, and it has completely fried the TV. And I just think it's important to point out, I do, and I think that it's a matter of record. Matt Murphy watched CNN on that TV for years, and it didn't have the same effect as just a couple of weeks
Matt watched
of soccer
too. He would leave it on.
I'm just saying.
He got stuck. Sorry. You know why? Because it was too good to handle.
Oh, is that what it was?
Are all of them down? It might be still back up. Friday was
just
pretty
the
decent.
Soccer TV, apparently.
That's right, baby. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, brother?
And I mean, I wouldn't have blamed you, but Joan was on vacation, so we knew it couldn't have been her.
No, she's on vacation. And, I was just, hey, look, it has to be done. There's only 4 games left.
I think we need to get a bigger TV.
We do.
We do.
Swap them. Swap them.
Swap them out.
Nobody's listening. This thing was halftime's never
We should get a bigger one, and we should lower it down so it can be in the corner and kind of double as a backdrop for this.
I like this place is just teeming with money, so that should be no problem. no prerequisite for him to fill out. Let's just go get one.
You're getting money around here?
You get paid for this?
What are you talking about today?
Talk a little bit about Lindsey. Talk about us apparently not being a livable state for for all the metrics that don't matter for the average person, which is fantastic. Talk some governor's race stuff. Plus, who knows what else? I'm sure we'll have some good, fun, wacky stuff to talk about as well.
Also, there's a lot of super texters from my last segment who have popped up in ardent defense of the ukulele. And I just want to let everybody in the audience know I stand by everything I said about the ukulele. And I always will.
Which is?
It's trash.
Oh!
It's a trash instrument.
It's a trash instrument.
12 o'clock, Super Talk 99.7 WTN.